I thought that people like Marjorie Elliott and Helen Anderson, now known as Helen Toland, and let's see, who else? Jim Anderson, of course, and Charles Keller. I thought they all walked on water. I thought Dr. West was just amazing. I thought he and Dr. McMillan were both two of the smartest people I'd ever been around. Dr. West's wife, Dottie, was just the epitome of elegance and beauty and, all things Hollywood. And I thought she was just, again, walked on water. As I got older, I met Lou Bertha Johnson, Ruby Duncan, women who had a very strong voice, who were right there in the fight, elbow to elbow with all the guys. And they were all fighting for the same thing. Sometimes they didn't always agree, but they came together in the end for the benefit of the community. And then there were women in my church that were not necessarily as vocal and not necessarily as extravagant as maybe some of the other people, but were still very, very influential to me. There were women like Jeanette Carr and Gladys Smith and Geraldine Britton and Ida Mae Robinson. All of these women, what they did was and Almeda Moody, what they did, and I draw on this even now today, they didn't talk about a whole lot, but they did a whole lot. They wanted to make certain that the church was self-sufficient, that the community had a daycare center that could provide for the community's needs. They were always there to open up the doors of the church for any kind of community meeting. They didn't need a lot of recognition or a lot of titles, Every time I think about them, I think about the Langston Hughes poem, No Titles. And I love that. And a lot of people, even today, when they see me in public and they're like, oh, Judge. And I'm like, no, just call me Karen. I don't need, that's what I do, but that's not who I am. And I learned that lesson from women like that. They were working women. They worked very hard, but they also were committed to a much larger picture, one that I think even maybe some of the more prominent people didn't necessarily see.